Hello fellow DIYers! Do you also like those trendy 3D wall art pieces popping up everywhere lately? And you also don't want to spend a ton of money on it? In this video, I'll show you how I created my own version of this wall art for just $5. Let's dive right into it. I started by finding an old cardboard box. We will need quite a bit of cardboard for this project, so I recommend finding a large one. Then I cut out two identical size rectangles. Their dimensions should match the final dimensions of the wall art you want to create. Mine were 60 by 30 centimeters. Next, I started sketching a pattern on one of the cardboard rectangles. The idea is to draw intersecting lines and geometrical shapes, and then decide which lines you want to keep and which ones you want to remove. Then, use an eraser to remove lines you don't need. If you don't feel comfortable in drawing, it might be easier just to find a pattern you like online and copy it. Here I've already finalized the pattern, so I know which lines need to stay, and I'm going over the pencil lines with a black marker so they're more visible. Now that the pattern is ready, it's time to assign the height or depth to each section of the art. I use numbers from -3 to 0 to assign the depth or height to each section, where 0 means the highest level and -3 is the lowest. Try to assign numbers in a way that sections next to each other don't share the same height. In this way, we create more contrast between the layers and give art a dynamic look. The next step is building up layers. Sections marked with 0 will need 3 more extra layers of cardboard. Sections marked with -1 will need 2 layers, -2 just 1 more layer, and sections marked with -3 don't need any extra layers, so I set those sections aside. For each section from 0 to -2, I trace the shape onto cardboard as many times as needed to create the right number of layers. Later, I'll cut all of them out. The next step is to glue all the layers together. Now it's time to make papier-mâché clay. We will apply it to the cardboard pieces and it will make them stronger and give them a nice texture. We will need half a cup of wet toilet paper. To measure half a cup, first soak paper in water, then place it in the cup and press it down firmly. Then place paper back to the water and stir until it breaks down into pulp. Toilet paper is usually very soft and will break down quite easily. You can see on the video how it turns into pulp. When it's done, drain water through a strainer and then rinse paper pulp to remove any excess water, but don't make it too dry. This is how it should look like. Paper is moist, breaks down easily, but the water is not dripping. Next ingredient is wood glue. We will also need half a cup of it. Add wood glue to the paper pulp and mix it very well. And I will be using 2/3 of a cup of modeling gypsum or plaster of Paris. You can also use white cement in this mixture instead of gypsum. First, I pre-mixed it manually and then I used an electrical mixer to blend it thoroughly. The next step was to cover all the sections with papier-mâché clay. I used the butter knife to apply it and wore gloves to protect my hands. Papier-mâché clay with gypsum hardens over time, so I needed to mix multiple batches of it to cover all the cardboard sections. Now that all sections from 0 to -2 are covered in clay, we can move on to sections labeled -3. I assembled all the pieces of the artwork onto the second cardboard rectangle we prepared in the beginning, and then I marked exact spots where -3 sections would go. Because the papier-mâché clay contains moisture and I will be applying it directly onto the cardboard, I taped the back side of the cardboard with transparent tape to prevent it from deforming. Next, I applied a thin layer of papier-mâché clay on the marked spots. Once all the pieces have fully dried, it's time to start the assembly. I first pre-assembled the entire piece to check out the layout, and then I glued each part to the main board using wood glue. Now the art is ready, and the last step is just to hang it on the wall.